Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today I want to talk about some of the equipment that I've used in the past and some of the things I've changed out and some of the things that are still working really well with my composting that I'm doing here in my house. Now, if you are a large commercial person, you're probably going to need more items than I have, and if you're really small, there's some items you could probably skip. But I find that a lot of these items are worthwhile to me, and some of them I've actually had reviews on here before after I used them for a few months. I thought they were great, and maybe they weren't, or maybe I switched it out for something else. But I just want to kind of cover a couple different things that I've really changed out and some things that I've added to my collection here as these tools have become important for my bins, along with just making my life a lot easier. So with that, let's go start the first ones that we have here, and let me show you what I've got. Here's our first item I'd like to cover here, and this is the canary knife. Now, I purchased this with the idea of cutting cardboard with it, and I made a review of it about 3 months in, or a month to 3 months in, and it worked really well. But about that 6 to 8 month mark, it really did not cut through nearly as well. This became very dull and it wore out. Now, what I have here is I have its replacement. Now, I had already been using plenty of utility knives and I needed a different one though. And this one right here is a lot better in many ways. First off, it opens up very easily with one hand. I can also shut it with one hand because of this button on the side right here. And this is the Milwaukee Fastback version. And the best thing I really like about it is how secure these blades are. I was having a lot of issues with my old utility knives where the blades would actually pull out while I was cutting stuff, which is incredibly dangerous because then all of a sudden you're moving and it's, if you're holding a piece like this and the blade comes out, it's just, you have no control over that. And also if you pull the cardboard up or something, it's very easy to possibly hit your own hand or something like that. So it's becoming very hazardous for me to cut cardboard. So I got one of these, and I find that this works incredibly well for cutting cardboard, and this blade is very secure in there. So this is what I've switched to for cutting up cardboard and replaced this canary knife. I still have this just in case, I desperately need it for something, but I would not get one of these again. I'll link down below, by the way. I'll try to put all these products in my Amazon store along with links down below on the description so you can actually purchase these items off of Amazon. Those are affiliate links and they do help me out a little bit. But, this is something that I highly recommend is these Milwaukee Fastback utility knives. These are just really good quality and they're very solid. And I've already switched out the blades multiple times, but I also find the blades, even though I'm using the same ones, they seem to last longer. And I'm not sure if that's because of the way I'm using the knife or what it is, but they do seem to last a little bit longer than it was before. Maybe I could put a little bit more pressure because I'm not worried about them popping out. But anyhow, this has been working really well. It's also got this little clip on the back so I can put it right on my pants to hold it and stuff like that. So, this is really, really good quality material, and I would highly recommend these for those that are getting into worm composting to cut up your cardboard into manageable pieces. All right, now let's go to our next item. All right, our next item here is for those that are in cooler climates. This is a heating mat. This can be wrapped around a bin or put underneath a bin or wrapped around a bag, I should say. And it can be used to help keep your bin a little bit warmer than what it is, especially if it's cold outside or cooler in your house like mine. I did get a bigger one of these and I just put it underneath my African night crawlers that like warmer temperatures. But I still have this one, which is a little bit smaller in case I do need to put this underneath a single tote or something like that that's running a little bit cool. Or if I'm trying to grow seedlings, I can use that for seedlings as well during the spring, which I'll probably still try to do maybe this year. But we'll see. But I highly recommend these mats. Again, a nice heating element. If you are using this for your bins, you might want to get, and I do have one off to the side, but it's in use, and that is a temperature gauge to make sure that it's not getting too warm inside your bins. You don't want to warm them up to 90 degrees and cook all your worms or kill them through heat. But this is something that I will recommend for those in cooler climates. I think this is something that's needed. My bins have always slowed down a lot during the winter months, and with the African night crawlers, I was really worried about death. And this is keeping those bins nice and warm around that, mid 70s to mid to high 70s to even 80 degrees, depending on which bin it is that it's sitting on top of. So that's something else that I'm going to recommend. And this is something I've added to my arsenal really this year. Prior years, I didn't really have many issues with my reds. They can take a variety of temperatures. The Euros seem to do better during the winter when it's a little bit cooler in the house. So it's really only for those African night crawlers and if you're someplace cold. Or if you're keeping the bin outside. This way they have someplace to go to warm up if it's really cold outside in the 30s. So that's another thing I'm going to recommend right here is this heating mat. Let's go on to the next item that I've replaced on my list. Alright, so this one might be a little bit more surprising, but I'd always mention about wearing an N95 mask when I'm doing a lot of my work with my crushed crab and eggshell that I've got right over here. The dust is horrible for your lungs, along with these other things. You know, when I'm working with dolomite or something like that, you really want to make sure you have a mask on. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in. It can hurt your lungs. It can hurt your respiratory system in general. It can get on your throat. And this is the mask I've been using in the past, which is an N95. These are really good quality. I highly recommend them. They've been very hard to find though lately. So what I have done actually, as this one is starting to wear out, is I've switched to these KN95 masks. I know this is probably hard to see since it's all black, but it's white inside here. You can see these are KN95s. They're split down the center. Instead of having the full wraparound, which is what I use usually, this one does have the ear loops, which isn't quite as secure, but it does work. And these are good also. And you know, unfortunately, I just can't find these nearly as readily as I was in the past. So I have started switching to these KN95s. Also, for ease of use when talking, these are easier to put on and off. If you're obviously not recording yourself, these N95 masks do work just as well or better for keeping things out, especially with these loops going around the back. It's really going to hold it on your face better. But, you know, I have started using these too. I just want to let you guys know, what I'm using and what I'm not using. So that's one of the changes I've made this year as well, as I've started incorporating these. Sometimes when I'm really quick to put on a mask, it'd be one of these KN95 masks. So let's go on to the next item on my list. All right, I had to move the camera up for this one, but this is my new shop vac here, and I bought one that is battery operated. This is a rigid 9-gallon shop vac. It uses 2 batteries. You can use 1 or 2, I should say. There's no plug for this, but one of the reasons why I switched to this one is that this one has wheels for moving around. My old one did not, and I constantly had issues with it falling over or getting caught on things when I try to pull it, especially through narrow air spaces in my basement. This one has a nicer hose on it too, with some more flexible points. The filter on here is bigger on the inside. If I were to take this off, actually I can do that real quick. Take this off right here. This filter on the inside is bigger. It's about double the size of the other one that I had in my little 5-gallon. Also, I get these nice big bags for it to hold everything in. So it's just a lot nicer unit. There's a nice pine smell right now from the Christmas tree that we had. But it's also better snaps on the sides. And then also, I really do like having the battery operated version because I don't have a lot of plugs in my basement. And, you know, it's running around massive extension cords constantly is getting really, really annoying. So this way I just plug these in. This thing runs for about maybe 20 minutes on these octane batteries that I have that are 3 amp hour. So it runs pretty well. And, you know, I've got 2 of these. I charge them frequently, but still, this works really well. I don't have to charge them every time I use it. But I found this to be really good. Also, I have these extensions and everything sort of fits on here. On my old one, everything sat off to the side in a cage that it came with it for mounting on the wall that I never used. So this is one of the upgrades that I did make that I'm really happy about. And this is the one that I've had now for about a year. And it's done really well. I didn't want to show anybody this until I knew that it was going to work. And it is working really well, to the point where I've actually, a couple of my friends saw this, and I think that they're going to end up buying one as well. They really like the idea of being able to take this wherever they need in their yard as well. And then the other part is, if we come over to this side, there's this little output. You can actually take this and use this as a blower as well. So you can disconnect your hose back here, which I just did, and then you can put it right over here and here like this, and you can use this as a blower to blow things off. So if it's like a leaf blower to blow just pine needles away or something like that, or dust in your basement. So overall, I'm really happy with this unit. It has a couple more features than my old one. It's a little bigger, which is nice too. The other one, it was getting clogged quite frequently. And then, you know, as I said, the larger filter. So this is one of the big upgrades I made this year. This was a little bit more expensive than I, you know, would have normally spent. But with how much I use this in the basement, especially with the worms, it's really worthwhile to me to have something like this. And, you know, I'm hopefully it'll last me many years. I think actually, yeah, this did have a lifetime warranty on it, or a lifetime service agreement, or whatever it is through Rigid, like the batteries do. I know that these are guaranteed for life. They do replace them pretty quickly. I think this is the exact same. This is a slightly different. I think it's the commercial warranty. That's the difference. The commercial lifetime warranty instead of the battery one, which is an LSA or a lifetime service agreement. This has, I think, a different type of warranty, but it is lifetime as well. So that's really the main changes I made in my basement this year as far as tools. The other stuff that I have going on is working really well, which are, you know, my shredder that I have, which I, you know, try to do an update every couple years on. And, you know, the bags themselves. Everything else seems to be working just fine. But those are the things that I've made a change with this year. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to see my camera gear that I use for recording videos, let me know, and I'll make a gear video on that as well. I know that I've gotten much better every year with recording, as I've added better cameras, better lighting, better this, better that, and it's just slowly built up. You know, I've added this wood here as a shelf to put my bins on, so that way they're more centered, you know, just things like that. So if you're interested in that, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll make a video on the gear that I'm currently using to make videos so you guys can see what I'm doing and how I'm trying to get better and make better content for you. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, remember, I'm going to try to link all this down on Amazon. I think this is the only thing that won't be linked. I don't think they sell this at Amazon. This is a Home Depot product. But other than that, thank you for watching.